Hi all of you, this is Gil. So today on this video I'm gonna go ahead and take apart and overhaul one of these camcorders. I guess this one I'll just overhaul it, or I'm just gonna take it apart and basically show you the things that I always replace on this. So yeah, like it's typically always the belts. It's always the belts that go bad on these. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it apart right now. I'm gonna see it right now. Well, since I've done this so many times, I do it like within minutes. You know, I can actually get this thing all taken apart within minutes. See, I need to find my screwdriver. Well, I don't know where my other screwdriver is, but well, anyway, so okay, it takes me only a couple of minutes to actually take this thing apart. So to the point where I can actually replace the belts, and I could probably do it in like maybe 10 minutes or less. So yeah, so all the screws that you see me taking off there, these are the ones to take off. Looks like, no, it's not missing. It's always like the same, I believe 9 or something. Put that one in the wrong spot. And then the one on the bottom. I hope the camera's showing really well. I hope so. So I'm just gonna go ahead and... It's always the same ones, like, well, it's always these same. And then the CPR250 is similar. It's the same thing, basically the same. Then I have to take one off over here as well. And remove this little shroud. And then the one over here. So it's a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 screws total, and 2 plastic pieces. 10 screws and 2 plastic pieces I took off to get to the belts, and then I'm able to lift off this cover. And I just so happen to have spare parts in here. So yeah, I mean, I have a lot of parts in here. Yeah, I guess I have a whole camcorder. Probably might want to use some parts out of this, but you know, see, I have a bunch of screws and all. So this is like the I'm not even sure if it works or not. See, this was actually off a CPR300, and this is all the parts for it. I mean, this, I'm not sure if it's good, because I know I shorted this one out when I accidentally reversed the polarity of a battery when I was trying to make a battery for the thing. And this is for the CPR300. These parts are probably, some of these are probably still good. I mean, and this is a CPR300 camera. I mean, and then this is a CPR250 viewfinder, and then another cover for the CPR300. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and continue to take the thing apart. So yeah, anyways, And then this, well, to get to these rubber bands, you know, I mean, I always take the little, well, I have to take this, I have to be able to move this out of the way. And for this camcorder, I remove this little screw right here. And then I have to remove the power right here. And then, and then on this side, I have to remove these two right here. The two hookups. I have to remove these two, and then I can move this out of the way to access the belts. I believe, I mean, I know that thing, I know the belts. I found an easier way to replace this belt right here, the main one here. This one screw just came with me. Found that the easiest way to do this belt, the main one, the main mother of problems, this one right here. I found the easiest way to do that is to I'll just remove these three screws that holds the whole assembly. Otherwise, we just use the you don't want to lose these screws now. Found that this is the easiest way to do that, man. I found this one out kind of like today. I mean, this belt, I mean, this is the easiest way to do that. Just remove these three screws and then get your spare parts of, you know, your spare rubber bands. I don't know what happened to them now. These little ones, you need little rubber bands. It's like small ones, like these small ones. But since I just kind of like found out today that this was the easiest way to do these, you know, like just remove the whole thing, you know, like it's otherwise the way I was doing it before, I was just getting a screwdriver. I was just getting like a screwdriver, and then yeah, I was just getting a screwdriver and kind of slipping it on, but that's extremely hard to do that. It's hard to do that here, you know. So I found out that it's easier to just do it by removing those three screws and just slip it on. Simple as that. But apparently, I mean, and then I just put it back on. Not losing any screws, huh? The other one. I know one of you was asking me to make a video to take apart the whole thing and put it back together, but I mean this one's sort of complicated for that to do that, but I mean it could do some of it. I mean, you know, this one is one of them. Okay, this is to remove the viewfinder. That's to remove the viewfinder. Here's that one. And then, you know, like some of these, well, of course, you gotta remove the door. The cassette door assembly. Well, it's just a... Put this aside. And then there's like to get to here, I guess that's what it was. Well, you have to remove the rest of the screws to get the rest of the screws here if you want to get to that part of the camcorder. Because I think it's the pinch roller assembly. Like if you had to replace that part, I mean, you have to kind of like, and then of course there's other parts to remove too. It's like another piece right here. I mean, all of the camcorder, the 300, the CPR 300 is similar to this, or the CC 275. They're all the similar camcorders like Hitachi or Sears. They're all basically the same. And then these, and then we have to remove these here. These screws, sometimes you gotta be very careful not to lose them, you know. So if you want to get to the, and then there's another one right here. Kind of like it holds the camera, the video camera portion of the camcorder. And so this, so now it basically all comes apart. I mean, it can basically all come apart. I mean, yeah, so there's something I think stuck on here, but no. You just have to so something I forgot to do here. Must be something I forgot to do. Well, I think it's all like, no, I think it's just, I mean, you just have to kind of like pry it, kind of, because this part tends to, yeah, this part. Well, anyway, I mean, and then you can access the pinch roller from here. But to do that, you have to take this motor apart. Well, you have to remove the motor, the screw right here. You have to remove the screw right here to do that. And then I'll do that right now. I took that screw out, and then, I mean, the motor, I mean, I think there's another one on the back of this motor. Yeah, there's another one back here, as far as I know. I mean, no, yeah. Well, I think it's like, it's this, actually, there's another one right here. Well, to make this, to eject the cassette door go, open it, you just have to move this thingy right here, and then that way the cassette door will be out of the way, so I can get the other screw. And that way this whole assembly can move out of the way, and then you can get the pinch roller. So yeah, now I'm just gonna put it all back together. So it's 2 screws. You saw one right here, one right here. I'm gonna put it on right now. And then the other one I took off. It was 2 screws to remove the motor assembly, so that way you can access the pinch roller. And then this pinch, but actually before you do that though, only thing though that before you do that, you have to align the, you have to actually align the you have to make sure you put this in the hole right here. There you go. Put it in the assembly there before you put it back. So now, I'll close this cassette door for now, if I could, if I'm able to, that is. Then maybe not. Might be kind of a challenge to do that if this thing's all taken apart. It's going to be hard to do that. So, since it's all taken apart. Well, you know what I'm doing? I'm going to put this cover back on. And then you just kind of like follow it along. You kind of like clamp it together. I mean, so to speak, you know. Now I'm able to put the cassette door back. And it just kind of like flushes in, you know. It sort of flushes in, you know, basically. So, but I mean, it might be a little tricky to get it to fully flush in. But I mean, it does. It will do it. I mean, but you just have to be patient, you know, I guess. So you can see it that it flushed in, it flushes in. So, and then the camera portion has to flush in perfectly well as well. Sometimes it doesn't want to be cooperative sometimes. Okay, you just have to move out of the way so the camera portion will flush in. See? There you go. And then right from here, the camera portion, another camera portion. Well, maybe you could probably start putting these screws back in there now. So, yeah. And then, you know, see, so this, oh, I mean, I guess the rubber band here, I mean, I know these rubber bands are good, but I just did it for the sake of, I'll go ahead and put this rubber band back in there. It might be actually the original one, but, and then now, the next thing I want to do, okay, I want to be able to put this, just want to do this so I can have guidance on, so I can guide myself on what to put on next. So actually this piece goes back inside. I mean, it goes in here. Okay, how did it go? I'm trying to see how it goes actually. See how it goes. It doesn't go in. Oh, I know that it goes this way. So I want to build. Here. So yeah. So these two pieces, this one right here is like the little black piece aligns with this, too, so that way it can stay in there. And then this part, then I'm just gonna go ahead and still put everything back together now. So yeah, I think I'm trying to be sure that everything's all put together properly. Looks like it is. Well, I mean, it's just basically flushing everything in there, so. Okay. So, and then now what to do next. Ready to go. Now I'm kind of like ready to go ahead and put it back together. I mean, and then this, let me see, I gotta make sure that all the belts are in there properly before you put it back. And then these, yeah, put them back in here. You gotta be careful of this because you can mess up the connector. Because if you take it apart and put it back together a lot of times, it eventually might wear down. And see how it does that. So so yeah. And then with this is where you put the screw at. Screw. Until I got it properly. So now this thing should be good to go. So now, and then don't forget this, the power. Okay. Yeah, I don't know where this came from now. Dang it. I always do that, man. Now, and then I want to be sure that it works. Let me get my power cord. Okay, I'll plug it in now to be sure that everything looks good before well, it works, but this camcorder is like the light flashes because it's like the it's supposed to be a dew indicator, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with the camera, but I mean, so I can't use it until I can stop that, you know. Well, you know what it seems like he does. Now I could put the cover back on now if I want to. But be sure when we put it together, make sure that these things, that all these little switches are kind of where they're supposed to be. Make sure that none of these are kinked or anything. This too, even this too. Make sure these are not kinked or anything. And then make sure that this switch is, if this switch is this way, make sure that this one is this way. And so forth. So I'm gonna put this cover on now. So yeah. That's the one thing I forgot to do. I forgot to put the screws in here. I forgot to put these screws back in here. The one to hold the camera portion. I think it was a total of 2 it took off. There's 2. Okay, there are 2 of them, so I mean, this is ready to go, basically. Gotta make sure all the wires are out of the way before you make sure all the wires are out of the way, so that way when you put the cover on, it's not gonna smash the wires, you know. Because you don't want the cover to be like kind of like cutting the wire, so to speak, you know. Basically, yeah. This. Going over this. Going up. I mean, this is me taking the whole thing apart, but I mean, for me, I mean, usually I only take it apart, like I only take the side cover off, like for the belts, because that's basically what it is. That's always broke on this, you know. It's the belts. That's all. That's all. Anyways, gotta try again. There you go. See, properly. And basically it right here. And then you put these screws back on. Well, I need this screw, because it actually is this screw I need. You know what, on this camcorder, apparently, I mean, the cover, I want to replace this cover here, because like, the battery falls off a lot on this, because it's kind of like broken over here. So I want to go ahead and get the parts from this camcorder, get the cover from this one. Now this one's a little bit scratched though, but it's a little scratched, but I'll still use it anyway. I'll still use it anyway because that one's kind of like screwed up. Same idea. I mean, same. Well, this one's already been kind of like taken apart. See, I just use these camcorders for parts at times. I use them for the parts. Basically, this camcorder is parts. But I'm going to just use the cover out of this. I just need the cover because you could see that this one is intact. Because with the one that had a broken part, because it doesn't hold the battery really well, and then the battery falls off. It's broken, it's snapped over in this part where it holds the battery, where it grabs hold of the battery, and I want to go ahead and use this one, you know. That one that's not broken over here, that holds the battery. So I'm gonna go ahead and trade parts. So yeah, when I take the whole thing apart, you know, then it's gonna be a little bit more trickier to put it back together. And I mean, so this one put together now. Put it on now. I just gotta put the screws. Okay, that's that one. Go ahead and so I'm gonna put those same 10 screws back. The same 10. Okay. Oh, it's big, man. What's going on, man? Yeah. What's going on? Oh, it won't go on. It doesn't want to cooperate. There you go. So now it should be good. So it should be good now. It better be. That part. Then another part right here. And now this common piece that I use, I often take apart. And then this part, these. Not that of a view, but anyway, let's put then the viewfinder back on. Kind of not going in there now. Let's do that later. Let's do that. Just do that later. He doesn't want to cooperate sometimes. I'm trying to look for the screws that I need. I'm trying to get this piece of piece. Everything good. I guess I got everything. Except for that viewfinder. I'll just do that in a little bit. Do that right now. And then, now that I got it together, now I don't have to worry about the battery falling off. Because I might have to hit it a little bit to stop the light from flashing. But, I mean, viewfinder, you know it works. I hope I got these in right. Works. No. But I'm not gonna build. See, I can't test it until the flashing light stops. But could probably at least put in it. That's it. That's working. See, it won't play unless the it won't play until the stuff. Because you know I don't know what it is. I mean, making, but you know, well, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it works if I hit it. Well, you know, the flashing light. Because that's like supposedly it's indicating due, like due in the player. So the only thing I can do here at this point is wait a little bit, because if I wait a little bit before I so that light can turn off eventually or stop flashing eventually. And then it'll work, you know, if I wait like 30 minutes or something, you know. So yeah, but until then I can't use it. But sometimes I'm able to get it to work sometimes I'm able to stop it from flashing. But anyway, well, I'll come back to